envision it.
So Joe Biden appears to be the front runner in virtually all the polls. Do you think he has sufficiently answered the accusations from women who accused him of inappropriate touching? Does he, in short, does he get it?
I think that's something that he has to kind of show the electorate. I think that I think that it is an issue where there is a struggle. I'll be completely honest. I don't think that he has. I wouldn't say that it is an incredibly severe, like, I don't think that voters think that he is necessarily guilty of sexual misconduct or anything like that. But I do think that there may be some discomfort, especially seeing some clips this week and, a week before, telling a 13-year-old, telling her brothers to watch out for her. And I think there are some things with female voters that it's just not quite locked down. And I think that there's some ways to go, but this is also a cultural evolution, I think, that we're having as a country. So I don't think it's necessarily about being punitive in these ways. But I do think, like in all issues and with all demographics and in all electorates, it's not about right and wrong sometimes. It's just about whether feeling like someone gets it or not.
And you get the sense that he has not conveyed that yet?
I don't think he's necessarily convinced all women. But I also don't think that he is, people tend to interpret these situations as completely one way or another. Is he a bad person or is he a good person? I don't think it's about that.
Do you think Democrats in hindsight made a mistake by giving Bill Clinton a pass all those years over his treatment of women?
Probably. I think that, but again, I think this is, I actually don't think that this is as partisan. I wouldn't look at this through a partisan lens. I think that this is part of an evolution that we've been having as a country. Women have historically been mistreated. I don't think that that is really a controversial thing to say. We still have a pay gap, which is persisted by inequalities in parental leave, inequalities in, the fact that women don't get guaranteed paid leave. I have 3 staffers that are having children in my first 3 months and first 6 months of my term. Wow. And I see how these inequalities pay out. That's why I give all new fathers in my office guaranteed 3 months paid leave, because those inequalities are very real. So I think that when it comes to President Clinton, I think that it's not just Democrats. I think that we have historically, from Anita Hill to the present day, I think that women have historically bared a lot of, difficulty, adversity in the workplace.
Now, Biden has said he has the most progressive record of any of the candidates. I know you don't agree with that. Could you see yourself supporting Joe Biden?
I mean, if he wins the nomination, I think that it is absolutely important that we defeat Donald Trump.
And will progressives rally around Joe Biden?
Well, I think when it comes to who we select as a presidential candidate, we have to really factor in the enthusiasm of voters. I think that was an issue that we had in 2016. I think that it wasn't necessarily that Trump inspired a wave of enthusiastic voters. It's that people felt worse about both candidates in 2016 than they have in a very long time. And so I think that we need to pick a candidate that is going to be exciting to vote for, that all people, women, people of all genders, races, income levels, geographies feel excited and good about voting for. And so I think that that's really what we should be looking for.
Do you think Biden has sufficiently answered the question on the Hyde Amendment, which bans federal funds for abortion? He had supported it year after year after year. Now he says he's against it. Does that close the case for that?
Well, I'm encouraged by the fact that he is now against the Hyde Amendment. I think that that's I think it's a very base level where all candidates need to be. I'm excited to be introducing a repeal of the Hyde Amendment via amendment. We'll see where it goes for incarcerated women. And the maternal and reproductive health care of incarcerated women should be guaranteed as it is with all women in the United States. And so I think it really depends. And that's really what the Hyde Amendment is about. The Hyde Amendment isn't about abortion per se. The Hyde Amendment is truly about equality of health care and health care access for low-income women and women of color and women that get caught in our mass incarceration system. And so the Hyde Amendment is about income inequality, and it's about women's health care in a system of income inequality. So I think that we need to repeal it. I think that having a strong record, I think all of this is stuff for voters to decide. But I think that this is not in the niche topic of women's issues anymore. This is an American issue. We're talking about 51% of the American public being impacted by the reality